Alright guys, welcome. Today I'm going to be showing you guys how to do basic techniques to start drifting in Assetto. Alright, so the first thing we're going to start off with is clutch kicking. Alright, so clutch kick is you rev the engine up and you release the clutch. So it's like like doing a burnout. If you look at my pedal traces, the green is my gas, blue is my clutch, and red is my brake. Yellow is my e-brake. Alright, so I'll just rev up the engine, clutch kick it. What that does is it makes the car lose traction, starts the initiation of the slide. Or the drift, right? So that's the basic thing you need is the clutch kick. Very important in drifting. Let's try it again. Alright, so next thing we're going to learn is how to feint. So a feint is if I'm going straight and say I'm going to turn this way and drift left. Right before I decide to turn in, I'm going to flick the car right and then turn left while I'm clutch kicking in. So it works like this. So say I'm heading in this direction, going straight, I'll go right and then clutch kick. And what that does is if the car is like this, it's all on springs, so it loads the suspension up, and then when you flick back the other way, it catapults the car this way while you're clutch kicking. And what that does is it breaks traction a lot easier. So you're gonna be using that, sometimes, depending. So here, we'll do it again. So we're rolling. Majority of the time I drive, I feint in before I drift, or initiate. Before I initiate, I feint in, and it just loads the suspension, like how I was saying. Alright, so so now we're gonna do e-brake initiations. And there's two types. You could do just a regular e-brake initiation, or you can do like a feint in with the combination of the e-brake. So I'm going to do the first one. Longer runway. Alright, so we're just going to go, turn in, pull the e-brake, catch it. That again. Turn in, pull the e-brake, let the wheel go, get on the gas. Now we're gonna do a feint in with the combination of the e-brake. In, pull the e-brake, let go of the wheel, get on the gas. Do a jump drift. Alright, so now I'm going to show you guys how to catch the drift. Change this view up a little. Okay, so we're going to do a feint in initiation. Feint in, clutch kick. Make sure when you're first initiating, once you initiate and the car is starting to brake traction, you let the wheel go. And you catch it right when the wheel slows down and it stops pretty much, and then you catch it. Right. So we're going straight, initiate, stops. Now it's not going to completely stop, but it's going to slow down. It's all timing. It takes a while. You'll get used to this. After a while, it's like second nature. You don't even have to think about it. Okay. So now we'll do the EBrake initiation. We'll do the same thing. Just catch it. Okay. Go down. Turn in. EBrake. Turn in, EBrake, catch it, turn in a little, EBrake, car starts to drift, you let the wheel go. As soon as it's going in the right direction, grab a hold of the wheel. Right? Go straight. EBrake, turn in. Oh, fail. There. So that's pretty much catch it. Turn in, EBrake, let go of the wheel, catch it, stay on the gas, right? Once you initiate, you're going to be on the gas the whole time. So what I usually, you can do this too, is you know, anytime I initiate, transition, or whatever, I always have the clutch in. So as soon as you initiate, say you feint in, EBrake pull, doesn't matter which one, you always clutch kick right after. Usually, like, that's what I usually do. You don't always have to do it, but it's a good habit to do. Tandem Techniques, you know, when you're doing tandems, right? Foot brake, using your foot brake. Okay, so if your car's in drift, your car's counter steered, you caught the drift already, and you're gaining too much speed, you can tap the foot brake or hold the foot brake while you're still on the gas, right? So to do that, you're gonna have to use your left foot. Your right foot's gonna have to be still in the gas, and your left foot's gonna have to brake. That's why they call it left foot braking, is because you gotta, instead of switching your accelerator foot to your brake, you gotta use your clutch foot to brake instead, because you gotta be on the throttle still. Okay, so say I'm in drift. I gotta slow down. Holding the brake and driving and drifting. Yeah, so a good thing to practice is once you get the car in drift is you know, once you're in drift, just practice holding a foot brake and drifting while you're still, and then controlling the drift that way. Okay, so that's how you slow down. Foot brake, use your foot brake, you know, gaining too much speed. Foot's still on the gas, you're still in drift. You just slowly press enough foot brake to slow the forward momentum of the car down. You're still in drift, but in the other way, say you're drifting, right? Same scenario. You're chasing. You're in drift. Guy's in front of you makes a mistake, slows down, or overshoots the turn. Now you gotta stall because he was going the same speed as him, and now he's going too slow. So you can grab on the e-brake to stall, right? See how it slows the car down? I stay at the same angle, same everything. It just slows my speed down. So it's a good thing to use when you're tandeming in here. Say, you know, your close guy goes out here. Now you're too far forward. You grab on an e-brake, let him come back in, and then you stay in drift. Just split second, and you always clutch kick. Once you pull the e-brake, your clutch pedal is already in. You clutch kick out. Because what's going to happen is you're gonna stall for him. He's gonna come back with speed, and you lost all your speed. So now you got to get back on the gas to keep, you know, in sync with him. So you could use foot brake, e-brake, depending on the situation. Sometimes it's better to e-brake than the foot brake. Transitions now. Let's do transitions, right? This is the one that's gonna take a while to get used to, because what's gonna happen is you're gonna be spinning out a lot, right? The suspension's gonna be loaded, and then you're gonna let off too late, and then it just springs back the other way, and it spins out on you. So we're in drift. Let's do that again. Long runway. So we're in drift. So you just let off when you're ready to transition. You let off the gas. What happens is the tires they gain traction, and it pitches the car in the opposite direction. And once it transitions to the other side, you got to get back on the throttle again to catch it on the other end. Okay, so we're drifting. Transition, let off. another thing you can use the e-brake for is you can say you're learning to transition, right, and the car's snappy, and you know, like, to keep up with the guy in front of you, you have to stay on the throttle, and he's got kind of over angled, and you know that the car's gonna flick back the other way just as hard. So what you do to remedy that, and so you don't spin out going the other way and keep your speed, is you grab on the e-brake right when you're ready to transition. And what that does is you can stay in it longer, stay in the drift longer, more angle, and not worry about having to, when it transitions over, you're going to spin out, because then you're going to grab the e-brake and it's going to slow the transition down for you instead of snapping back like how it naturally do, right? And with street cars, you know, you're not going to have to worry about that too much, but when you start driving comp cars and stuff like that, then let's say I'm in a comp car and I'm going to transition, I pull on the e-brake, it slows down my transition. And another thing you guys got to remember, right? You don't always have to be full throttle, on the throttle all the time. As long as the car's in drift, here, I'll show you what I mean, right? So say I'm in drift, right? The car's in drift. I'm gonna let off the gas. See that? The car was going on its own, but when it starts to get ready to grip up, you gotta make sure you catch it again, so you clutch kick, right? So you can do this like infinitely, right? See, let it go, get back on it, let it go, get back on it. You don't want to use the throttle like that though, like a light switch though, but I'm just showing you an example of how you can just let the car drift without, you don't always have to be on the throttle. You can be partly on the throttle, you know. I'm just letting you guys know that the car can drift on its own without doing anything. It's like you're power sliding, right? As long as you get back on the throttle and brake traction before it grips up, then it doesn't matter, right? You caught it and you're still in drift. So what you're gonna find sometimes when you're tandeming, you'll let off super early because you got too much speed, and then you'll let off and let the car settle to the right speed of the guy leading, right? And then you'll clutch kick back in it. So say, yeah, it's kind of like pulling the e-brake or stepping on the foot brake. See, I'm gonna let off early and just let the car go. Let me good example, better example. There, transition, let off, and just let the car let off. I pretty much let the car slide for like 2 seconds before I catch it again. Yeah, and that's pretty much all the things you need to know about drifting. Yeah, if guys, you know, I would advise that you guys get better solo before you jump on in servers and start trying to tandem. Make sure you can like do a full lap, you know, and link all the turns together. Because what happens is, you know, if you're new, guys come into servers and they start crashing into everybody, and you know, it's not very good. Yeah, so if you liked the video, like and subscribe. Check out our Sim Life Discord. We run servers 24 hours a day, drifting servers, grip servers. Yeah, check it out in the Discord. all the links in there. Alright, later.